I have presented the city's dashboard of key financial performance indicators to this audience in previous years. This dashboard continues to be central to Council's financial decision-making to ensure we protect the sound financial position of the city as we move forward. And through the leadership of our executive team that I introduced you to, our financial position continues to be strengthened. And so some recent examples of the team's work includes: we have finalized a growth management strategy to accommodate approximately 50,000 more people and 30,000 more jobs in our community by 2031. We secured $50 million in federal and provincial funding to repair core infrastructure and establish a commuter hub in our downtown. And I recognize Frank Valerian and your assistance in us being so successful in that application. Land sales in the Hanlon Creek Business Park continue to grow our industrial assessment base and jobs. And I'll note that Fusion Homes of Guelph was the first to break ground last week in the park with their new headquarters. We are leveraging our municipal experience in environmental management and green infrastructure to diversify our economy. We have secured a memorandum of understanding with the province of Ontario for the development of the Guelph Innovation District. And this partnership recently elicited an expression of interest from Conestoga College to build a new campus in Guelph on these lands. That is extremely exciting for our community. And the executive team has presented the first sustainable 10-year capital budget for Council's consideration this year. The proposed capital financial plan focuses on closing the infrastructure gap that plagues all municipalities by reducing debt servicing over the next 10 years to accelerate our contributions to reserves. So those are just some of the highlights over the last little while. But for this year's State of the City address, I'd like to break a little bit with the tradition and change the format a little. I'd like to share two stories that help to connect the dots between City Hall, your municipality, and the community. I started with several stories, but I only have time for two. And that's a credit to our community that there's so many stories to tell. But more than that, more than just connecting the municipality, the city, and City Hall to the community, I want to talk about charisma, as odd as that might seem for a presentation like this. Has anybody watched a TED video? Are you familiar with TED online? A couple of people have nodded that they've watched a TED video. TED is a small nonprofit devoted to ideas worth spreading. Recently, I just blew my secret. There should be a slide here that says, "Can a city have charisma?" Recently, I watched a TED video where the speaker asked the question, "Can a city have charisma?" He asked the audience to think of a charismatic leader. So I want to ask you to do the same this morning. But instead of thinking of Nelson Mandela or Bono or Oprah, depending on where your thoughts might take you, think about a charismatic leader in our own community. So just take a second to do that. Close your eyes if it helps, or look around the room for inspiration as well. Here's mine. That was the secret that was blown. Anne-Marie Zadlick. She has all the qualities of a charismatic leader. She's committed to an inspiring cause. She's a passionate and engaging communicator, if you've ever had the chance to hear her speak. She's a risk taker and an innovator. She radiates confidence and conviction, and she builds fans and followers. She even has us marked. How many else in the audience has a bracelet of hope or has worn a bracelet of hope? Let's look at that. A lot of people in this audience. So, can a city have charisma? Can it demonstrate these same characteristics? Can it possess its unique and distinct personality? I submit that it can, and I would argue that Guelph in fact does.